Burt Reynolds is a real hero, and he can take more crashes, more fire,
hello, gorgeous.
more love,
I'm yours.
more hits, and more stunts than any star in Hollywood. That's why he wanted to make Hooper.
This is a picture about stuntmen, you know, and stuntmen have always been my favorite people in the picture business. So it's time that somebody really did a movie about them and made them the real heroes.
For a first-hand look at some of these real heroes, we went to the set of the new Warner Brothers film, Hooper. During the next half hour, we'll join Burt, Jan Michael Vincent, Sally Field,
How do you spell your name?
James Best, Brian Keith, Robert Klein,
Roll all the cameras.
director and legendary stuntman Hal Needham, John Marley, Terry Bradshaw, and the greatest collection of Hollywood stuntmen ever assembled to make one movie.
We may be in trouble.
Without stuntmen, there would be no business. I mean, they make heroes of all the actors. They do risk their lives, doing very dangerous things to make a picture very exciting.
The movie Hooper is the story of 3 generations of stuntmen. Burt Reynolds stars as Sonny Hooper, the greatest stuntman of them all. Years of experience have taken their toll on his body, but he's still the best in the business.
He tries things that he wouldn't have ordinarily tried because his kid's done them.
Jan Michael Vincent plays Ski, the brash young stuntman with big ambitions. Brian Keith plays Jocko Doyle, a happily retired stuntman full of beer and good memories.
Burt is the #1, and Jan is the new kid in town. And I'm the guy that's been there.
James Best plays Cully, Hooper's best friend. He too is an aging stuntman, already being phased out to make room for the new breed.
He's an older stuntman who's a little bit over the hill, and Burt sort of lets him hang on, sort of carries him along.
And I think it's an exciting film to make, that it gives you a real excuse to do a lot of action and see maybe into a little bit of what stunt people are all about, which will change the image, I think, that a lot of people have.
I found most of them were very intelligent. I kind of enjoy that. I expected them to be senseless types, and I think they care about what they do very meticulously, and they're scientists in a way.
I think everybody would like to do something terribly dangerous. I think it's thrill, the excitement.
It makes them feel alive. I see it. I feel alive when they're through.
All right, let's go. Get Burt.
Okay, folks, let's not get too comfortable in this area. All this stuff has got to be moved out. This whole area has got to be cleared for the chariot race.
See how fast we can go.
Any problems with that, Bob, I should know about? Just a lot of good luck.
Okay.
Let him through there, guys.
Ooh, that's good. For 10 years, I was the highest paid stuntman in Hollywood, all right? And they said, how is that to be? You gotta be versatile. That's the name of the game.
Some guys only do horse stuff, and that really limits the work they can do. Unless you're doing a Western, you're not working.
I don't know one gag that's the same. Everything you do is different. I love it.
Enormous competition among the young stunt guys and the older ones. It's awfully tough to be a young stuntman because there's so many older guys around who still can cut the mustard.
The younger generation are coming on strong, and you've always got them in your hip pocket.
Well, I was just telling Jan that, first of all, that he was going to have a handful, and it was time to use his legs, not just use his arms, because if you just sit in there and you look like an idiot, they'll just pull you right out. You've got to brace your knees up against the chariot and really take it and try to win. How many times do you want to go around this thing?
I want to go around at least a couple.
Okay.
When I do the thing, I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
And on the,
because I can just tell you from just rehearsal, by the second one, I want to be really on there, you know.
Okay. When I come around twice,
go around once, twice, and then
stop right here.
Stop right here the second time.
Tom, keep them in as tight as you can. On the wide angle, I'm holding this and that chariot.
All right, let's clear it out of the intersection, please. Everybody step out of the street.
Hold all the noise, all the talk, everything quiet.
Scene 47, take 4. Marker.
I'm waiting 1.5 years to meet you.
How's that? I get to perform with Sonny Hooper.
Oh, hell, that ain't no big deal. I
If you go with it, and have fun with it, then you're going to be all right. But if you just try to play it safe, it's not going to be any good. And your adrenaline gets pumping, and you forget about the fact that your legs are shaking and your arms are getting pulled out of the socket, and you forget about all that. Because adrenaline is the lifesaver of us all anyway.
In a physical picture like Hooper, athletes expect themselves to be adaptable, but more often than not, they're surprised.
That's always the shock to athletes. Terry Bradshaw, I got him part in the picture, and we have a big fight scene. In 2 days, I think he looked like he'd been in the Super Bowl without pads.
You ain't ever gonna learn, are you, dummy?
We tore him up pretty good. He loved it. He had the time of his life, and he's really good. His athletic ability really saved his life a couple of times, you know. And one time he had to jump through a candy glass window and land on top of a bunch of boxes, and he got so excited that he just completely missed everything and landed in the street.
People that put their lives on the line day after day to make a successful motion picture, they have to get something in return.
Action.
What the hell are you doing? What's the matter?
We haven't got enough pressure.
Screw the pressure!
My life's worth more than a piece of film.
I'll tell you exactly what your life is worth. Your life is worth $50,000. That's the price you put on it when you got behind this wheel.
Good. Okay.
The way you really can get up there in the big bucks in terms of a stunt is if you start inventing a stunt. I remember when, I think it was Gary McClarty was the first guy to take a bike into a moving car. He got a lot of money for that.
If it's a horse fall, that runs anywhere from, say, $350 to $400. That's not counting the rental of the horse.
A car roll run starts at $1,000 and goes up.
Fire guys can really be hairy.
The fire stunt will start at $1,000.
A high fall is anywhere from, say, $12 a foot and on up.
Car jumps is another story. When you talk about jumping the Los Angeles River, which Needham did, that's crazy. I mean, they just shouldn't, you know, they should give you a lot of money and take you right to the farm. Lock you in a small padded room and let you count your money.
The film features a movie within a movie. Hooper and his friends are hard at work on a disaster epic, directed by the egomaniacal Roger Deal.
6'3", Louis.
I play Roger Deal in the movie. He is the villain, and he is a director, and not a very considerate one at that. These stuntmen break their bones and their nose is bleeding, and he's the type of guy that, take it again, please, and a little more emotion if possible, you know, that sort of thing. It's a wonderful part. It stands out. I'm the only one in the film with good diction.
Oh, Roger, you know how much over the budget we are.
I want it, Max. It's right, and I want it.
It's a stunt that's never been done.
I don't care. I want it.
Like the character Klein portrays, director Hal Needham demands and expects the most from his people.
So, I mean, we got all that to do before midnight.
Considered by many to be the top stuntman in Hollywood, Needham made his directorial debut last year.
This is the second film I've done with Hal Needham. I did Hal's first film, I'm glad to say, which was Smokey and the Bandit.
Hal knows when to direct an actor and how to handle them. He has great communications with the actor and the crew.
There's nobody like Hal. He's fantastic.
He underestimates himself, which maybe is one of the things that's good about him. He has terrific instincts and honesty, and he knows when something's not working. More directors than not don't know that, or they want to impose their own ego on an actor, and you know, it doesn't fit. And he just says, no, something's not working here. Let's work it out, and it works out.
I call Hal Needham Dr. Danger. That's my name for him. If anything is safe, he'll try to make it dangerous.
Warner Brothers will never be the same over there because I put Bert on the outside of a helicopter, put the helicopter way out there, and he's standing out on the strut, right? I mean, you're talking about a superstar, big, high, expensive actor, and had him come in on the helicopter and fall off and do a high fall into the air pad. Well, when they saw it in dailies, I thought I'd be fired.
He's also a guy that when you do the stunt, he probably could do it better.
I wanted a point of view as Burt was getting ready to slide underneath the truck. And all the stuntmen were going, I said, give me the helmet. So I went out there with my slacks and slippers on and everything, no pads, and I put the camera on and slid underneath the truck. But what it does is it keeps the stuntmen honest. I mean, every day you look around and they go, we better do this right, because if we don't, old Hal will get in the clothes and do it himself, you know. Of course, it gives the studio a heart attack.
Needham did one, in fact, he invented it, in a picture called McHugh, where he rolled one on the beach. I think it went 18 times before it stopped rolling, and he broke his back.
What it is, it's really a cannon. I built a cannon, 14 inches in diameter and 36 inches long. What you do is you mount it on the car with the muzzle pointed towards the ground. Put a charge of powder up in it, put a phone pole up in it, and wire the phone pole so it stays. Now the idea is that when you come in, throw the car sideways, fire the cannon, so what it does is just flip the car. When I tested the cannon, I broke my back, shattered some ribs, punctured a lung, and knocked out a couple of teeth. Actually, it was Gary McClarty that wound up doing the stunt in McHugh.
Making movies is no piece of cake.
Stunts don't just happen. They are created. And the creative process is as precise and sophisticated as choreographing a ballet or conceiving a winning football play.
See, most people think of stuntmen, they think of them as being the kind of people that you put them on a motorcycle, have them take a slug out of their bottle and head them for the wall. And that isn't true at all.
Acting as stunt coordinator on the film is Bobby Bass, a stuntman with nearly 20 years of experience.
Cut in on some of this stuff, okay? And where you can pull off some of your good gags.
Bobby Bass reminds me a lot of Hal in the sense that he's incredibly responsible.
We're going to try to make this like a bar fight that bar none. We're going to try to make this a classic.
Well, obviously, I think Bobby Bass is a great stunt coordinator. Otherwise, I wouldn't have him on the show.
He comes by, he's got this guy in a headlock. He hits this guy at the same time.
And that camera there shouldn't be there. It should be over there.
A lot of those in there.
All right, let's do it.
Folks, take your places, please. All right, here we go. Picture. We're rolling.
Action. Bobby Bass, I got nothing but praise for him. I feel comfortable giving him control of the whole action sequence.
Give me a hand, will you? Got it. Are you all right, guys? Huh?
For those like Bobby, who make their living by risking their lives, a special kind of protection is needed. A sample of their safety equipment reads like an inventory of a football team's locker room.
Elbow pads, knee pads, hip pads, that's kind of the basics.
No matter how many pads a stuntman wears, the danger factor remains incredibly high.
When you jump 40 or 50 feet, it looks spectacular, and if you go into the airbag the wrong way, you can break your neck.
They think because you're a stuntman that you're a Superman, that you don't burn, you don't break, and do all these things. That's not true. I mean, you have to have things set up, and what you do is create a lot of illusions, you know. But you have to have it set up correctly. If you don't, you're going to hurt somebody.
I broke a nose and broke a collarbone.
Busted both ankles, broke both shins, lost a kneecap here, and damn near broke my neck.
I have broken 42 bones.
Oh, this tooth and that tooth and this nose.
Pride is what'll kill you more than anything else or get you hurt. Your mouth overlaps your brain. You say, oh, I can do that.
The time stuntmen get hurt is because of mechanical failure.
Luckily, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, a mechanical failure can be a matter of life and death.
As far as the fire thing, I used a different headpiece than I usually use, so the eye holes were way up here on me, and I couldn't see where I was going, so they had to lead me to the car.
All right, roll your cameras.
All right, we're rolling.
A smart stuntman's a guy that figures things out and always leaves a back door in case something doesn't go right.
Stuntman's only got one shot, usually.
All right, you're all right.
Come on!
They put it in first gear, and when they tapped me on the shoulder, I just gassed it and hit the car, and then the fire started real slow. Then it started getting really big. See, I stayed in there for a pretty long time, and I didn't mean to get Hal worried. He got a little nervous, you know, because you can burn up in there.
Cut it! Get him out!
Get him out of there! Cut it! Get him out!
You know, when you're in the fire suit, you lose track of time. You got your mind on so many things, and you have no way of communicating with anybody. I knew that he only had 4 minutes of air and that it was about up. Really, I wasn't trying to be a hero. I just wanted to get him out because I knew he's in trouble.
Your blood can boil, because I've been in them where they're super hot.
When I say get him out, I mean get him out.
The cast and crew of Hooper are working with not only the finest stunt men in Hollywood, but also the top stunt women.
Well, you know, there was a time you'd look up at lunch and you'd be sitting across from some guy in a wig with 2 apples in his dress. That doesn't happen anymore because they legally now have to ask if a girl is available.
But she makes her move, you make the contact, it's bam, 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 just like that, one right after the other.
We got 3 motorcycle wrecks, and that's 1.
Especially tough for stunt women to be as versatile. I'd say there's about 8 sensational stunt girls right now who can do just about everything.
You might need to snug this up.
We're doing stunts.
Okay,
You
same
know,
speed, let's
if
do
we
it.
ain't, well, let's go do something else.
Okay, got you, bud. We're gonna go for it.
We're going for it. Oh, great.
Speed camera. Speed camera.
Action, guys.
Go, folks, go. All right, save it.
Okay.
Tough as nails. Awful good.
You all right?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Give me a few minutes. Give me a drink of water. I'll be all right.
Okay,
Just
good.
kind of dazed me, that's all.
Good, good.
Yeah,
You were good. That was great. Did you all right?
Go away, stupid.
See, we pay ladies a little better than we do men for doing the same stunt because we feel that it takes a little more out of a lady to do the same stunts.
I got that wreck. Let's go to a new one.
You don't fool around with them either. They'll drop you.
Janet Brady, who's doubled me a couple times in pictures. I'm glad she's here because I think she's wonderful.
The wheel turned that way.
She drove the car, Smoking the Bandit.
You can go over a 42-inch ramp, and if you don't touch the wheels, that thing will just go out there and land flat and run right over the cameras.
She's the gutsiest little gal I've ever seen. She's a very cool, calculating kind of a lady. She had never rolled a car until she did it on my show.
As you hit the ramp and you turn the wheel and turn the car, you worry a little if you're going to get it over or not.
Let's put one on in here. Have we got one we can remote from over there against the building, even if we have to cut a hole in it or something?
Yeah, sure.
Huh?
Oh, sure.
All right, hold your positions, folks. We're changing angles.
I'll get up here and see how it looks.
Start seeing.
Everybody got speed? Speed here. Come on. Come on. David? Yeah, Hal, what do you need?
The grand finale of the movie is both grand and final.
They were getting ready to destroy 72 acres of brick buildings.
There's a lot of towns that should be blown up, and that's what they call urban renewal.
Damnation Alley, we've given it that name. I also call it Explosion Street. There's going to be some horrendous explosions, some real explosions that are going to be going off, so it's very critical that if you are assigned, I'm only going to take 3 or 4 drivers and put them there, that you will be assigned to go down there. You have to have your windows up because there's going to be flying debris, there's going to be primacord, TNT, there's going to be stuff going off in there. Nobody wants to be on foot. No one, but no one. None of the stunt people will be on Explosion Street, or Damnation Alley as they've called it, on foot.
This is the tag of the movie, and it's supposed to be an earthquake with gas explosion, gas mains, and buildings and everything all blowing up. And our hero car just works its way down through all this chaos, and then it goes over the final jump at the bridge, which is the tag of the movie.
You go like this.
Swing it
You
down.
drop the thing down and you go.
Okay.
Special effects man Cliff Wenger is responsible for making things both realistic and safe.
The Trans Am will come right into your picture.
Okay. That's not George either. No. When Tommy hits that, he's going to come and do this, okay? After the bomb goes off, he hits himself a nappa in the trunk of the police car. Bring him in.
In no time at all, we did what I think it would have taken the average director and crew and everybody 3 weeks to do.
This is not good. It's not safe.
Because Bobby Bass had his act so together, he had his men so rehearsed that I'd get ready to go and we'd do a setup where normally it would take a director 2 or 3 days to do something that we'd do in one shot.
Okay, let's clear the street down there. Everybody get in position.
I mean, we just blew things all to hell over there.
Please get behind me.
All right, here we go. All right, we're rolling. Hey, camera mark!
Ready? Are you rolling? Go!
I'm gonna hit it.
You're doing great.
I've never worked on a show ever where there's this much going on in one take.
It was a nice ride. My right ear I'm donating to Yale University.
Kaleidascope Films wishes to thank Warner Brothers for a look at the greatest stunt movie of all time.
You can hit him, kick him, gently abuse him, set him on fire, we'll amuse him. Heaven knows he won't hold a grudge. He'll look you in the eye, after you take a smile, there ain't nothing like the life of a Hollywood stuntman.
I love stuntmen.